Live on G.
Thank you, kind sir, for the coffee. I appreciate you.
Oh, what service?
What the heck? Making me coffee.
What service? It's Tuesday, right?
It do be Tuesday.
Oh, God. Are you ready? How hard do I want to go on this? You don't know that I did this.
Oh, no!
That was a mistake. Yeah! A word is not worth it! You gotta commit to the bit, dude!
Commit to the bit.
That could have been way more and like sprayed it and stuff, but like...
I freaking love that. That is amazing. I will toast you with my coffee.
Wait.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Ting, ting.
And I got
Dude, you got everything. You got the mimosas and everything. What the heck?
He texted me that we gotta have mimosas, and I was like, bet. And then I was like, all the liquor stores are closed. So this is courtesy of your Walmart neighborhood market.
Hey, you know what?
Which is a solid anchor in that retail strip, I gotta say. Anyway.
Good morning, Regalata Real Estate. Thanks for joining us over on the Gram Fam. Good morning, everybody. It is Social Surge with Fly and Mo. And the reason why Fly is exploding over there.
The champagne now all over my desk. I'm going to smell great today, guys.
We're like, wow, she's an early drinker.
No. I mean, I was all smiles at the checkout. So, you know, it's like, it's good drinking. That's like, okay. That's how you gotta check with people, right? It's like, is this good drinking or bad drinking?
So super funny. And slightly unrelated, but related. The fourth grade, my daughter's fourth grade teacher, I asked her, I said, you know, what do you want as like your end of the year gift? And I'm like, do you want me to bring you like mimosas? And she looked at me and she goes, nobody's ever brought me alcohol before. Everybody else gets it, but I don't. She's like kind of like a health nut. Beautiful woman, just absolutely fabulous inside and out, just fantastic. So I knew I couldn't bring her like mimosas to the school.
No, I did not think this through. I'm just covered my pants. Okay.
So she's gonna stand up and be like, I didn't pee myself.
No, I am not. Although we are live on X, right? So that's more sometimes.
So I brought the fourth grade teacher those little Prosecco bottles and orange juice. And I was like, you know, take him out to your car. Casey Calhoun has joined us over on the Gram Fam. Good morning, Casey.
Text you back. Sorry.
She says she'll text you back. And so I had to take him out to her car because she's like, I don't know if they'll let me have them in the fridge here. But she was like so excited that I had gotten her mimosas for the last day of school.
There's not enough celebration. There's just not.
There's not.
There's just not enough celebration. Now there's a lot of celebration IRL.
Yes.
But I was listening back to the podcast that I did with Viva, that's in the video that we posted yesterday, and listening to it. And I was like, yeah, that's right. That's right. People are hungry for like content that is entertaining, that feels good to watch, that feels good to make. You know what I mean? And so that was sort of, you know, my dad actually liked something. He unlurked and clicked like, that's how I know I really did it. Right. But, I lost the thought. Sorry. I'm so busy.
Dr. Fromage was liking stuff. Yeah. So if you didn't catch it yesterday. That's what I wanted to say is that, when I thought to myself, oh gosh, I have to post an announcement, I was like, what if I did something I actually wanted to make? Yes.
Well, and I think, you know, one of the things I see, you know, like people are waking up to content. I mean, it's a slow wake up, right? But like more people who haven't are waking up to it. I think that's great. And then, you know, there's a big LinkedIn challenge going on right now. Like there's always a bunch of stuff, right? And, you know, me and you always harping on people to like be posting their content. But I see a lot of people like treat it like work. And there is a discipline there is discipline and intention and effort. And yeah, like this is we're like, I was like doing all these comments yesterday. I have tennis elbow from like the typing. I'm just like, wow, dang, I'm out of shape. But like, so this is work, but I don't see enough people being like, what if I made something that actually felt good? They're like, I have to do this. I have to say this. I have to be this, like, whatever. I'm just like, no, it's very clear to me. I'm be done this rant in a second, that when you make something that you actually like to like, and that feels good to make and that you want to make, it's the same thing as when you say to people, like, what's the best social media platform to be on? Yeah, the one you like to use. Like,
Correct.
Making something you are excited about gets other people excited and they can see it. That's all. Anyway, sorry.
No, don't be sorry, because that's exactly, we talk about that all the time. If you don't enjoy making the content, I mean, if I didn't enjoy doing what I do, I wouldn't be here, right? I enjoy the marketing aspect of it. I enjoy trying to figure out, and it's how my brain works. Like, you can bring me a product, and if the product hasn't been viable or hasn't been making money, I'll look at it and be like, okay, how can we make money that makes sense to other people, right? Like, that's how my brain works. So with marketing, it's just, this is how do we make you are the product. When you have a service, you are the product, right? How do we make you marketable to the community? But if you don't enjoy the process, if you don't enjoy doing it, you're not going to want to do it. It doesn't matter how many webinars you go to, how many classes you take, trying to learn all this shit. If you don't, right? Like, if you don't like it, you're not going to do it, which is what I loved. When you first showed me that video, I was like, oh, I love this so much. It's like, so your personality, so everything about it was so good. And I think that's what a lot of times is what we're missing. Everybody wants to be so polished and I don't know, so precise that they forget to have fun with social, which is why.
Sorry,
go ahead.
I want to say I do believe that the precision comes with time. Like, I feel the precision that people and the polish that people want to have in the beginning. Like, everyone who is precise and polished now in their content that you see got there. I mean, just go back and look. Go back and look at Gary Vee's first videos. Go back and look at anybody's very first video. Scroll all the way down to the bottom. And if they haven't archived it, and I hope that they haven't, just go back and, you know, if you've been posting for a while, like, go back and look at your first posts, right? It's just like like, you actually get to the point of perfection by iteration. And so if you can do something in the beginning that you feel great about, but maybe it doesn't look like high quality Hollywood, like everything in that video I did on this thing, you know, I don't know. Anyway, sorry.
You have to put in the reps. If you enjoy making and creating content, you have to put in the reps, and you have to do it so many times before you get to a place where you feel comfortable with the content that you're sharing. I've talked about it before. You can catch me on Instagram on stories at 4:00 in the morning, and I'm looking like a hot mess. But that's like, inspiration hits, right? And if I don't do it right then and there, it's just going to go out the window, and I'm going to completely forget about it. And then it's going to be 4:00 in the afternoon, and I'll be like, I'm too tired. I don't want to do this anymore. So I'd rather do it while inspiration hits. And yes, I don't look fantastic. You sometimes are sleep in my eyes still. Like, it's just, but that's me putting content out there. That's me sharing my thoughts on something that's generally happening within social media. For the most part, it's not me going off about other things, but sometimes it is. So, big announcement yesterday. Miss Fly has joined MoVO Media Marketing, and that's.
I need a button with the thing. I almost bought a megaphone, man. Like, the props budget. I'm just not.
Mo, we need to work on a props budget. We do have a sticker machine now, though. So Fly and I have actually been talking about this for a while, and yeah, we've been talking about this for actually over 6 months now.
Yeah. I mean, you know, once you and I talked the first time, it was very clear that this was inevitable to bring up the the agent gif from The Matrix. And it was really funny because I can't remember. Please, if you said this to me, please reveal yourself, because I can't remember who said this to me. But when I was like, yeah, I got it, I'm doing my job announcement, and they were like, what is there to announce? It just makes sense.
Right. And so that's the thing. Like when you meet people, so Fly and I were actually kind of giggling about the fact that we have only ever met in real life twice. Once at CREI Summit and once at the gala in New York, the real estate gala. And that's, but we've talked like every day for over the probably like the last 8 or 9 months. Yeah. And it just makes sense for us to connect and start working together. Hey, it's Santa Maria Dev. Thanks for joining us over on the Gram Fam. And it really does. We work very well together. And one of the things that I appreciate about Fly is the fact that I can ask her to go audit something and she will come back with actionable steps and things for me to look at from a different perspective. Because sometimes you get mired, I guess is the best word, in your own stuff. And so you don't see it from the outside perspective anymore because you're just doing the thing all the time. So very excited to have her on board, very excited to what the energy that she brings and working with clients. So yay.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it was, the long and winding road of how you arrive someplace. Thanks, Julia.
Thank you.
But wow, the words have gone. What? Because I'm so full of thoughts. I posted the first cold call video that I made, the cold calling, and then it's funny because I haven't really been doing them for the last 6 months, and now I'm watch out. But that was really, the cold calling cold callers series is the sort of like my hallmark thing that I do for myself, even though really what I am all about is, uplifting and supporting other people in their own content. Right. But it's just like, you gotta do something, right? The very first one I think was posted to the day a year ago. And so I was like, when you and I were like, we gotta announce and do it, I was like, oh, aha, look at that. And then I was remembering why I did that then in the first place. And so first of all, that series, if you don't know what it is, because it hasn't been airing for a while, is I needed a way to create content that was conversation driven, that was about more than just deal making, that was in conversation with other people. And I needed a way to do it without leaving my desk. Because like, seriously, just because of all of the sort of constraints that I had in those circumstances, I was like, okay, so here's what is in front of me. What can I do with this? And so I went back and so like, this is when we talk about, documentation and like looking at what you're actually doing as inspiration for the kind of content that you create. I was like, okay, how can that be inspiration for how we create the content? And I was like, okay, if all of what is moving this business forward is brokers cold calling each other, I was like, what if I just did that to start conversations? But I didn't want, like, I was never supposed to be on camera. Like I actually have incredible stage fright. And one of the reasons that I highly recommend starting a podcast as like the best case scenario for how you can start making content is like you're in conversation with somebody that you want to talk to, as opposed to just staring into the void, right? But it's interesting. Anyway, I'm going off on a tangent. So that was, and just documenting it and having it be short form and just whatever, right? But I was so afraid to do it. And I was afraid for several reasons. I was afraid of rejection. I was afraid of saying something stupid. I didn't like how I looked, and like vanity is the worst excuse. Like it's just worse. It's just the worst thing possible for everybody. But so my cousin, Andrew, today is the 12th anniversary of his passing. He passed away from cancer when he was 31, and July 15th is what is now a national holiday in my family, which is called Andrew Adventure Day. And on this day, you do something big, something bold, something fearless, something new, just like anything that like is possible and is only possible because you're alive and not afraid because I'm going to get emotional. One of the last things that he said before he passed away was that he wasn't afraid anymore. Because it was like, there's actually nothing to be afraid of. Okay, so I'm gonna rein it back in. So I was like, I do have this thing called the fear list, in which I have to, and actually this is for a different conversation or probably a post, but I have a list of everything that I am afraid of. And once a week, I'm supposed to cross something off the list. During that time when I started cold callers, I was ripping through fears so fast. The last 6 months, I have not been doing that. And it's very interesting how that changed my work. Anyway, that's a different conversation. However, so today and this time and just sort of like my time in commercial real estate, what's up, Marcy? Has been very much about moving past fear, because there's so much opportunity if you are willing to take the risk. And another line I'll evoke in this, when we talk about fear being one of the main blockers for people getting active on social media, is that maybe quite unfortunately, the courage comes after the risk. Like, yeah. I hate that for us, but it's just sort of like, somebody said to me recently, they were like, I want to do this. I know it's valuable. I've never done it before. I'm hesitant to do it. And I think the only thing that's going to solve that is just ripping off the Band-Aid. And I was like, yeah.
It's strange because I've been in social for so long that, to me, it's second nature now, right? Yeah. To the point where I've had people, snarkily, I don't think that's a word, but people in my personal life who've been like, oh, you're always taking selfies. And I'm like, if I don't take the selfie, if I don't take the picture of where I was, the picture's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm always like, if you go through my phone, it is a documentation of where I've been, the experiences I've had. It's with my family. Right. So if you're already documenting in real life, think about how you can use that on social and start sharing your story. People, we want to know your story. We're so nosy. We love to know the nitty gritty, right? We want to know the details. What does Marcy have to say? She says,
run. Like going swinging. Yep. For real. And the other thing, and this is what I think is wild, is like, I have so many people in my DMs being like, I don't know how to tell my story. And then like, that's like one thing to begin with, but, and that's quite fixable actually. Yeah. It's all fixable. It's all fixable. Right. But the thing I see across the board, in these conversations I have with people one-on-one, is that like, they don't believe that their story has any value.
That's it.
And that I think, I think there's a lot of reasons, and I'm the same way. Like, I posted that yesterday and I was like, and I do highly recommend a very, very stoic approach to what happens once you post. Like, you don't, do you know what I mean? Like, it's all just information. If that post bombed yesterday, you want to know what? I made something that I freaking loved. And that, and then like this next, move on to the next. Right. It's all data. Like, it's all just data. So
I have a client that posted something, and well, he sent me a voice memo and we created content from it. And then we got it posted, and there was one thing that's talking about outdated appraisals. And all of these appraisers jumped on this post. It's got like, I don't know, like 69,000 impressions right now on LinkedIn. It is the wildest thing that all these appraisers jumped in. I was like, so first off, I sent him an email and I was like, wow, reading comprehension is not like at the top of the list right now. because they clearly didn't read the rest of the post. Like they just stuck to that one thing. And he said outdated appraisal. It was just wild. But that's the thing. Like, he could have gotten scared. Yeah, he could have gotten scared and gonna like delete that stuff. And he was like, no, keep it on there. I freaking love it. And I was like, yes. You know, and he's not even involved in some of these conversations that are happening in the comments. I mean, there's people just going back and forth, like back and forth.
Best possible case scenario.
Okay, Marcy, I'll hold you to that. Snarkily.
Poster didn't happen.
He could have gotten scared, right? He absolutely could have gotten scared and not wanted that post to go anywhere else and had us delete it. And he didn't. He was like, no, keep it going. I freaking love it. So even if you do have something go sideways, it's always dependent on how you're going to respond to it. But that's one of the things that, Fly and I are here for our clients is that we're going to help you get through some of that stuff.
Yeah.
Now, that being said, if you're a dumbass.
Oh, some things can't be helped. I don't know. I disagree. You want to know what though? I used to be a real. I have so many words, and I'm just not going to say them. I had one sip of this, by the way. It's not hitting. I haven't had 6 cups of coffee yet. I do. Just so thoughtful, but I do like, I think that it does take a little bit of armor to, and once again, it's just like, if you think about what it takes to like lift weights, if you're a weightlifter, wow, I don't know why I'm going to lecture you, but like, if you're not, I don't know, just like the effort, I'm just like thinking about like effort. I've actually started kettlebell. It's insane. Okay. So the first time that you do something that is like incredibly physical and like you're exerting yourself, like that lift is heavier than the 10th time or the 12th time or the 15th time, 21st, like just go on and on and on, right? Like if you haven't been active on social media, like it's gonna feel very different than how you have existed in the world before. And I think that once again, going back to talking about something you brought up recently of like, you have expertise, you need to bring it down and not bring it down, but just like you need to meet people where they are.
Correct.
Right. Yep. Think about it from their perspective. And so something that I have been feeling very thoughtful about is how to support people in that transition. But the thing too is just like, if you see the value in this, and I know that there are so many people that see, I do believe that we need to, in some ways, like maybe this is just me personally, but like, I think that there has been a plain and justified case for social media and digital marketing and all of this stuff, right? Like I feel done trying to proselytize to people that this is valuable because the evidence is all around us. Right. And I think that if you're
bananas.
Yeah, I think if you're locked into this space, like you already see the value in that and don't need convincing. So I think that the thing that I am really thoughtful about is like, what are the actual ways that people are getting in their own way? Or what are the hurdles that people are experiencing that are not allowing them to show up here in the way that they want? And that 100% is like what I am barreling my head into, because that I think is what is needed the most right now.
Yeah, absolutely. People do get in their own way, and that is a big challenge. Not just on social media, it's just a big challenge for them in life. We take ourselves too seriously, or we want to be perceived a certain way. And so we're trying to create this persona that doesn't actually exist. And if anything, social media will shine a light on that. It will absolutely shine a light on the fact that you are being inauthentic and not genuine with everything that you're doing. And we have seen that. We've seen that in, I would regret being me on social media more than
Your
I would.
laugh reward is on. I gotta put it. It's right here on my desk. I gotta put it in the mail. The laugh rewards yesterday also were just like
Off the hook.
I'm bankrupt in stamps. Sorry.
But that's so. I mean, if you are trying to portray something that you're not, social media is going to shine a light on that eventually. So I
Look,
just
if you
think,
don't have anything to hide, and you know what, I'm not gonna actually say everything that I wanted to say after that. But if you are one of the people in this industry who actually has nothing to hide, nothing bad can happen to you if you start posting on social media, actually.
Right.
It is only the land of opportunity.
Right. It absolutely is. And commercial real estate is so far behind residential real estate when it comes to marketing on social. If we think, I mean, we can just point at Serhant, right? Serhant is a perfect example of what you can do with social and your target market. Which high-end homes, you would think that his target market would be those owners. But from what I've heard is that his target market is actually the children of those homeowners, right? Which is freaking brilliant, right? Like he knows what the behaviors of people are going to be doing on social, so he creates content to that. And so, like, you know, think about the behaviors of your clients, think about the behaviors of your prospects. And last but not least, before we go, we have a couple of announcements to along with a couple more announcements.
Yeah, and where's the yapping? Oh no.
But think about if you are stuck on creating content, if you are stuck on not knowing what to say on social, what was the last conversation that you had with a prospect or a client, and what were the questions that they were asking you? If those questions were asked, those questions are going to be asked by other clients and other prospects. You can answer those questions up front so people get to like, know, and trust you, right? You're already becoming a voice of authority and reason as they're finding you on social media. That is it. If you're making 40 freaking phone calls a week, which you should probably be making more, but if you're making those phone calls and you're getting conversations with people, jot down some of these questions. That is perfect content. You don't have to share the conversation that you had with the person, but you can absolutely create something around that question and how you answer it, right? And if you need help, Fly's here, I'm here. Regalata Real Estate says the 3 E's are a great place to start. You are correct, sir. They are a great place to start. Education, entertain, and engage.
I don't know which way I'm mirroring right now. Do.
Real quick before we go, CREI Summit is happening September 10th through the 12th in Palm Desert, California. Fly is on the programming committee. I am on the marketing committee. I am the marketing committee. And we have put together a badass
truly.
Amy Calandrino has been amazing spearheading that with Fly. And so Gaspis guy, Chris Helgeth is going to be there. We've got Zach Molzer is going to be there. Bob Nacka will be there. We have Cassandra. What's Cassandra's last name?
Hartford. Space Coast CRE.
Space Coast CRE is going to be there. We have
with
many
Tyler Biddy and actually I was thinking about that the other day, that particular session, just like on this topic of fear. Cassandra, Tyler Bindi, and Blake Haggett are doing a session on getting comfortable on camera.
Yep.
Like that is one of the biggest things, the biggest hurdles I hear all the time is just like, when I do this, it's gone. I'm a different person. I don't like it. You know what I mean? It's just really, that's a session. Highly recommend. Only going to get it there. CRE.
Yeah.
Boom.
We've got so much, we've got AI coming. We're talking about AI. We're talking about getting comfortable in the camera, in front of the camera. We're talking about podcasting. So we have Trepp is going to be there. So we have Lonnie Hendry is going to be talking about podcasting. Haley Keen's going to be on a panel as well. I mean, there's just so much stuff that's happening. We have Google coming out. So
Yona's going to be there.
Yona Weiss is going to be there.
And then again, like as much as I'm just like a content junkie and just like wheeling and dealing and like reels.
Okay, wait, that's a total video of like, okay, content junkie, but like, what's his name? When he was, the meme. Oh my gosh. He's a comedian. He's a crackhead.
Oh my gosh.
Content junkie.
I know what you're talking about. What's his name?
I don't know. I forgot.
Doesn't matter. Okay. No, but the banner, the marquee opening session, it's not Chris Rock. It's not Chris Rock. Oh, no. I'm going to stop because it's Dave Chappelle. That's a faux pas to have confused the two. I'm so sorry. Okay. So I'm just going to be embarrassed about that for the rest of the day. What was I going to say? Banner session, marquee session, CREI Summit. The first session we have Aviva Sunenrich, Coy Davidson, Carson Baird, and Aviva's moderating, I think.
Yep.
Skylar Ramines, Coy Davidson, Chris Hatch, and Carson Baird are going to talk specifically about their pipeline of leads on social media to close deals.
Right.
And Carson too, again, like last year was his first year at the CREI Summit. He just has like closed a huge deal because of his LinkedIn. I'm pretty sure his LinkedIn. He did a podcast with Aviva on it. So, but I'm serious, like content junkie Dave Chappelle is me. However, there's a real reason why we're doing this.
Right. Daniel Harrell will be there talking about newsletters, which I think is going to be super fascinating. If you are not familiar with his newsletter, it puts out a lot of information and he gets deals from that. So it's CREI Summit's happening. It is September 10th through the 12th. The block of hotel rooms is probably the price will go up, I think, in August. I think Ken Ashley, you'll probably want to connect with him and ask him about that, but go to CREISummit.com. We still have a couple lists that are coming out too. The Instagram list is coming out. We also have podcaster lists. So if you have a podcast and you haven't gone and submitted for the podcast, go and do that, as well as TikTok. So TikTok and podcast lists are still being tabulated. They're still, getting the information. CREISummit.com is where you need to be. And then, of course, I will be in Denver next week for Globe Street Women of Influence. If you want to connect out there, let me know. I'm flying in Tuesday morning. I'm flying out Tuesday evening. So I'm only going to be there on Tuesday. But if you're there, I would love to connect with you. And last but not least, if you want to connect with Fly and I off of this channel, we have the Social Mastery VIP group on School where we're talking about marketing and the whole marketing ecosystem. Can't wait to see you guys there. And we will be back on Thursday chit-chatting about stuff. Hold on, Capric Craig. Gotta give a shout out.
Oh, yeah. I have the full suite of with my champagne stain, which maybe he will love. Hat, shirt, CRE Country Club. Capric Craig is a great example of someone who is putting out extremely entertaining content that speaks to people that they relate with, smashes every time. So most wholesome meme lord, check out his merch. Super comfortable, actually. It's my summer fit.
I love it. All right, guys, we'll see you back here on Thursday. Have a good one, everybody.